What's up guys, Rui here and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about my approach on how I built a fashion wardrobe as a minimalist. I will kind of run through how my wardrobe looks as of right now, how I personally declutter my wardrobe, as well as some tips and tricks that I've learned previously when I was decluttering my own wardrobe. Also, I will be letting go some of my pieces for a really good deal, so be sure to continue to watch today's video. As mentioned in the past, minimalism in fashion is not just about simple and basic dressing. To me, I kind of take it more of a tool that will help me to make more cautious and intentional purchases whenever I'm thinking of getting a new piece so that I do not overconsume. By doing so, I'm not just limited to basic and simple pieces, but I'm able to apply a more minimal approach towards the way I consume fashion. If you guys want a more in-depth discussion video, go ahead and check out a previous video that I've done whereby I talked about can fashion and minimalism coexist. I'll leave the link somewhere up here as well as somewhere down in the description box below. Actually, I would highly recommend you guys to go ahead and watch that video first before jumping to today's video so that everything would just make a little more sense. The whole idea of me wanting to adopt a more minimalist lifestyle, I think first really came about when I was still very into that whole hypebeast fashion side of things. To be really honest, I didn't really know why I even liked them besides the fact that it looked kind of cool, and I guess because of the clout and recognition that came along with it. Before that, I was just very into Korean fashion and I didn't know much about Western or even Japanese fashion to begin with. However, I felt that it was a pretty unhealthy obsession because number one, I was a very broke college student, which I still am, just not a college student anymore, and it kind of took over a lot of my priorities back then. Fast forward a little more, I started to take more interest in minimalism and also learning more about the environmental impacts that the fashion industry is causing. Also at the same time, learning more about Japanese fashion, which focuses a lot on honing a particular style and further developing and refining it over time. This is where I saw that there is a potential to bring over a minimalist approach into the way I consume fashion. So how do you actually start building a minimal fashion wardrobe? Well, just like many other minimalist approach out there, the first step is to start decluttering. The process is pretty simple. Just go through your entire closet, pick up pieces that you no longer wear or are just sitting there for a very long time and get rid of them. You can either sell it on the secondhand market to fund your future pieces or just simply donate them to charity if they're all in good condition. However, for many people, I think the hardest part about decluttering is actually picking up what pieces to get rid of. For many people, and myself included, there would always be this what if question. You know, what if I want to wear this piece in the future? What if there is another purpose for this piece? You know, what if this piece comes back in trend? It feels very much like a defense mechanism that's created by ourselves to prevent us from getting rid of our stuff. It's kind of like a hoarder's mentality whereby we keep stuff thinking that we would use it in the future or there would be a time where we actually need to use it. To be really honest, I feel like 8 or 9 times out of 10, that moment or that situation never actually will arise to justify us from keeping those stuff. Therefore, the way I approach decluttering is instead of picking out pieces that I no longer wear anymore or have not been wearing it for a very long time, I try to reverse the process by instead picking out my favorite pieces. From these pieces, I will then try to rebuild outfits that I will do actually enjoy wearing, and this essentially will be the building foundation of my wardrobe. All the other pieces that do not make the cut, those will be the pile to get rid of. Essentially, I look at my wardrobe as one big machine whereby each piece are individual parts that work together with each other to create a consistent look that expresses my personal style. This makes decluttering much easier because it gives you a clear picture on what pieces to keep and what pieces to get rid of, because there is kind of like a structure and valid reasoning behind it. This also happens to be where my closet sits as of right now, which is why I really don't own much clothes. Now, the process of decluttering might not be a one-time thing. You might find yourself having to repeat the process a couple different times. Maybe there are some sentimental pieces or just pieces that you cannot let go, but later on you find yourself that you're now more willing to let it go. Things like this do happen, so don't stress about it that you have to declutter or clear out your wardrobe in one go. Take your time to slowly downsize it. Even for me, after having decluttering my wardrobe a couple of times, I still did find a couple of pieces that I now feel that I would no longer wear them and they're just been sitting there for the longest time. If you guys are interested to see some of the pieces that I will be letting go, make sure you guys do follow me on Instagram, because I will be making kind of like an Insta story archive section whereby I will be posting all the pieces that are for sale over there. They are mostly streetwear oriented pieces, but are all in very good condition. So what's next after decluttering? Well, this is where the fun part begins, and also the bridging of minimalism and fashion takes place. Based on my own personal style, this is where I start to curate pieces that I want to now add into my wardrobe. However, as I say from the beginning, my approach in minimalism is more towards being very cautious and intentional with my purchase. Ultimately, my end goal is to reduce my overall clothing consumption by owning clothes or pieces that I can see myself wearing for a very long time, so that it potentially would not end up in landfill. Therefore, whenever I do intend to pick up a new piece, there are a couple of things that I will do consider before pulling the trigger. Now, besides more obvious things such as does it fit my personal style or my wardrobe, one thing that I really do focus on a lot and heavily is the construction and quality of a piece. How good are the stitching job and the fabric quality? Is it going to be able to last me, 5 to 6 years and upward? Inherently, by having this mindset, I really rarely pick up something new, because if a piece does not quite tick all the requirements that I am looking for, I'm just simply not going to purchase it. This is also the reason why I do not limit myself to only a set number of pieces in my wardrobe, simply because of how slow my wardrobe do grow. One other thing that I feel is very important when it comes to building a minimal fashion wardrobe is actually maintaining and caring for your pieces. Because no matter how well or how good the construction of a piece is, it's still not going to last well if it's not been taken care of properly. Lastly, one very important thing that I feel everyone should take note on is to not have this false interpretation that you need to play catch up or have as many clothes as people you do see on social media, or even having the thought that you need to have a large wardrobe to be considered fashionable. Because in reality, the process of building a strong and cohesive wardrobe is a very slow process and does not happen overnight. I mean, sure, if you have buckets and buckets load of money, then you can just head on to Grill and just pick up any archive piece that you want. However, I do want to believe that a large majority of you guys that do follow this channel do not fall into that demographic. So don't stress about not having a large wardrobe or selection to begin with. It will eventually grow, and always remember that at the end of the day, all of these things are just clothes. So even if you do miss a drop, or you can't afford a certain piece because it's too expensive, don't stress about it. It's really not the end of the world, and it doesn't put you any lower or higher in a social demographic. That is all there is for today's video. What are your current wardrobe situation like right now? Are you guys planning to do a decluttering on it soon? Also, if you guys are going to give this method a try, please do let me know how has it been for you guys down in the comment section below. I really would love to hear about them. Also, if you guys have any other questions regarding fashion and minimalism, feel free to ask, and I'll be sure to reply to each and every one of you as soon as possible. As always, do give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy watching it. And if you're new to this channel or just haven't been subscribed yet, please do so, because it really does help me grow this channel. Also, don't forget there will be an RB Gear mod giveaway once this channel hits 8,000 subscribers. Till then guys, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.